live stream. All right, so there we go. So we should be live. All right, good. Oh, I got disclaimer up.
Okay.
All right.
I'll get the link shared and we'll be good to go.
Okay, thanks, man. All right. That's great about Erixis.
Yeah.
I got to imagine walking away from a pharmacy.
Especially when you own it.
Yeah, it's got to be like.
I haven't talked to him to see if he's going to sell it or if he's just going to let someone, hire someone to run it. I don't know. But, I mean, you can't beat what he's currently making on the side.
It's good when your side hustle becomes your main source of income. That's when
Yeah.
you know things are going right. Oh, I'm dying to buy it. All right, we're still at zero. Oh, god damn it, that was a nice trade. Right to VWAP and a turn. I had the whole thing teed up.
You hit your target for the day?
It would have hit my target too. I just had to close it because it was like 11:33. I'm like, oh, shit, I gotta stop. But good morning. Markets were moving. All right, there's a few. Hey guys, Happy New Year to all. James M, John Heron, Yoko. All right, guys. We'll give it let a few more trickle in. We got there a couple more. But crude.
Already got a.
Oh, we got a request
donation
from John. All right, no problem, man. LTCN. Cal, I don't know that. Like, what is it?
Yeah, it's the Litecoin trust through Grayscale. And we talked about it being in a leading diag, and it just nuked. Which sucked because I'm still holding my $13 entry because it was literally the bottom. And so I didn't take profits at 100% because I'm like, oh, this is good. And now I'm waiting.
Waiting is the hardest part.
Well, mine is waiting, W-A-D.
Oh,
waiting.
You're wading into the deep waters.
I'm wading into the deep end. Yeah, over.
Oh my God, that thing is gone. 65. That's 4 points. All right. All right, I gotta turn my eyes away from the other markets. Okay, guys. All right, we'll get started. Oh, we can try and get 2-3 more. We'll get it rolling here. John Mena, how do you just send 15 because this shows me 5 or 10? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know how you do that. I thought you could just pick. I don't know how to do it.
So you can do underneath chat, you can do the $sign.
Oh.
Or you can click the stream elements tip.
Okay.
So either way.
Okay.
Or you can just type in a certain amount.
Okay. Oh, we appreciate that, guys. We'll get to that for sure. Monty Crypto keeps me on it. All right, let's see. All right, we need one more. One more move there. Who's going to do it? Let's get one more here and we'll get started.
I'm about to post this chart and it's not
everybody's
pretty.
Digging on Erixis. Legend. Yeah. Come on, one more guy. Or gal, as the case may be.
I hope it doesn't go for that damn 618. I just posted a chart in the chat. If it goes to 618, that's $4.
Okay, I gotta pay attention here. So first up, we've got AMC, which that'll be interesting. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's get started here. We got 21. Okay, so that comes off. All right, guys. So welcome, Happy New Year to all. Hope everybody enjoyed the long break. I think both Mining Crypto and I were at the end of the week. We're like, okay, I'm kind of regular to get back to the regular schedule. That was like an extended weekend that just never ended. That's how you know you love what you do, when you're ready for the markets to get rolling again. So, as is the usual, it looks like we've got mostly regs here, but just, you guys just kind of in review. What we're trying to do here, it's really not about critiquing analysis. It's more just getting a feel for what members are looking at. There's great opportunity here because you've got all these members looking through the same sort of technical lens. Not everyone approaches it the same way, but it gives us lots of good idea content here. So you can think of it as, I often will describe it as, a massive scan for setups, because we can't see everything. Now we're tracking so many markets. So we think if you've got dry powder and you're looking for opportunities, this is a good place to come find some low risk setups. And starting here with Grant F. Now, regular viewers here will recognize that this is kind of his signature. He looks for a combination of an Elliott Wave pattern that's prone to repeat with a harmonic, also giving us technical confluence is really what we're after here. So we come down to this level here where we have all of this confluence. So we get a perfect median line tag. We've gone to the 127. Oh, he's giving me a 127 1.343. You kind of working pi there. So we've got that. And then so coming out of that, but do you notice how we're tagging that median line? So the reaction, look what happens from the median line. Oh, come here. From the median line, we go immediately to the upper parallel, and then that's where we get the next reaction. The next reaction is into a golden zone. So you can see the market just pinging technically, right? I mean, here's into the lips of the golden zone at prior structure. I mean, this is an incredibly technical trading asset here. Why? So why would you anticipate it would be so technical? Because who's in here trading? Right? This is the meme stock. You got a lot of retail traders here, and I can absolutely guarantee you they do not know what that is. They do not know there's a golden zone there. They don't know that there's median lines there. They're just trading. Oh, shit, who knows what they're using. But I'd be willing to bet you that you've had retail buying right into that golden zone, and you had retail selling right at that median line. They don't know it's there, right? So they sell right into it. So here looks like we've got, what am I on? I'm a 30-minute here. So you can, just looking at it here, you guys can see the 5 coming off of the low. So this is one of those, I will often say it this way. We've got massive technical confluence down here. We get a 5 off of the low, runs right into the trend line here from the upper parallel. Now, we retrace to a golden zone. So if you're looking for a trade, I always say it this way. Why would you not take that trade? If you're looking, right, if you're in the market for a setup, I mean, that's about as good as they get, right? You've had the technical confluence. You've had the pivot here. So this is often what you'll hear me say it. I mean, this is just a great example. Here we go. Okay, so you don't want to be sitting here with a limit order. Okay, I understand that. Well, let's see what the reaction is. And then take the first retrace, because we're retracement traders. That's what we're teaching you. Be a retracement trader, not a breakout trader. Look here. Here are breakout traders right here. There they are. Oh, we're going to the moon. We're going to go get that one. How do you know that's a setup? Look at the reaction. Right? It's just straight down. Right? It just faced. They don't know golden zone's there. Okay, so we sit here. Now, what Grant does, which is so nice, is he gives you a complete trading plan here. So we've got 1, 2, and 3 targets. All looks like they're, well, so he's got the 23, the 6, 1. So he's got first, second, and third targets here. This is literally, like we could put this on our cover of our website. What a perfect setup. I mean, just can't get any better. Now, note, we're not to the golden zone yet. We're not there. So if we come down, oh shit, let's get in there. Right, we're not there yet. Oh, is that him drawing that? No, there we go. I think that's him. Well, so we can just look at it and say, okay, well, obviously the market is reacting here. Looks like that's likely the 50 of this. So let's get that teed up. I'm just going to add it in, right? So I'm just overlapping here. So we're banging at the 50, and you can kind of understand why. There's a little structure here. So can they break this? Now remember, I feel like I'm repeating well, let's see. Let's check this here, because it looks like you've got the sell side. Remember, there's always an algo on the other side. Right? So we come off of this. So we've tested the 50 repeatedly, and whether you're thinking about the 50 or just the market structure, we get a reaction. What do? Where's the resistance? It's like I can't make this shit up, guys. Literally right to the golden zone. So do you see where we are now? We're just stuck in an algo box here, right? One algo fighting for... Well, now you will note here that look where this algo's target is, right at the pivot here of this golden zone. So if we get something down here, maybe it's over here, maybe it's down here, it would be just even more confluence, because now we've got all of this confluence down here. We get 5 off the low. Shit, it's hard to miss that, right? How do you miss that? You almost can't, right? That's where Elliott, whether you're an Elliottician or not, I mean, how do you not see the 5 there? I mean, you have to almost go out of your way to be blind to it. I mean, you almost just can't miss it. So, oh shit, you could probably interpret this, although that looks like you could go 1, 2. You're gonna have to dig that out there. But see, we're already too far. Let me just draw here. I'm just thinking out loud, right? So you look here and you go 1, 2. Well, whoa. That looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like that could have been the 3rd. But now look at the size here of the difference between what would be the 4 if we did that relative to this 2. Short, sharp. So what am I on? A 30-minute? Well, you probably have to go down to a 5. So you'd have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get into that 3. So odds are that this still looks like a good place to be looking for a long. Now here at the 50, you risk getting left with your mouse in your hand if we don't rally off of this. Oh, what do we got underneath? Oh, he's got nothing underneath. You could, depending on how much you want this trade, you could start with maybe 30% of it here at the 50, just in case, because hell, you never know, right? The 50 could hold it. But it does look like there'd be one other little confluence point you could use in here. Well, that's going to have to be A, B, C. So let's just use the extremes. Now here's the 100. So if we were to come down here and break this golden zone, that would be a negative. So thus, do you see how we have a measured move, but this is the Halsey measured move, the measured move that we teach, where the part of the way it was identified is that we kept missing the 100, right? I did a whole webinar on this. How would you start looking at the 23.6? It was all tied to the fact that we weren't making the 100, which is your traditional measured move, A to B equals C to D. If we're not making that, so this, good God, that's just a perfect setup. Well, you could even add in the little structure down here in the golden zone from the wave 1 pivot. If that comes, so what could you do? Well, again, if you're looking in trads, and I mean, this thing trades like a crypto, damn near. A little piece here, I'd reload here, stop under the 707. Why 707? Because in case you get a traditional measured move, you want to be a little bit below that. So what are you looking at? There's 7 point, even if you gave it a little more room. Gave it 786, right? Giving it maximum room. So you really wanted this trade. You're still over 4-1 on that first one. Now, if we get it down here, we know, right? I know I repeat myself a lot, but we know if we get a corner there, what do we have? Right? Golden corner pocket, right? 80% odds we get there. Now you never know. You don't know when you're going to get there. But would you want to bet against that? Well, first, right, we got to break this one. Once that's broken, you can almost just map it out and say, okay, well, if this is going to be bullish, we're going to get a bull run here. That would be a logical place. You all this structure here, look left, for that to 1, 2. Right now we need a 3, 4. We go up and get a 5 here into the 3rd. So you'd be trying to get into the 1. You don't necessarily know it gets there in a straight line. You're trying to get into the 1 of the 3. And maybe you can ride it through the whole thing. Great setup. Just beautiful, Grant. He's so consistent. That's why I always like to reference him, and it's great to start off here because there's just unbelievable consistency. It's always the same setup, right? That's his strength. All right, I think I've probably hit that enough, but I certainly, if it's me, I'm sitting right down here. I've got alerts on all of that. So depending on how much you want to park into a traditional assets, again, the trade's like a crypto. I'd have alerts on the break of that 50, and if we approach that golden zone, boy, I sure would be finger on the trigger. Well done, Grant. Great work. Okay, let me, what do I got?
Let's hit that LTCN because we got another donation as well. So.
Okay, let me, so what's the easy way to do that? Here, let me do it this way. I'll duplicate this, right? So, okay, so I do that. So we'll come over here and I'll go LTCN is this. And that's, put that in all, Grayscale Litecoin Trust. All right, I remember, we have well, shit, here, I guess we'll start on the daily. All right, any asset you're bringing up for the first time, I'm going to start on the daily. Okay, well, so my first thought is, okay, well, I'm going to have to look at this in log scale. Is there, well, let's go to the 8. Let's see how that looks. Not much different. At the 4, feels like, well, you're kind of in a position here where you want to be referencing prior Litecoin pricing here. This hasn't been around long enough to do that. Well, just looking at this, right? You kind of look here and say, well, we got stuck in this range here. Now we're breaking below that. Oh, I got nothing on belief. Let me get something here. Oh, let's use that one here. And let's get, we got those on. Here we so we can get a little look at volume and how we're doing. No, not surprising that we got the RSI pinned down here. So how do you, I'm going to guess anyone asking here is long and looking for, how when they're going to get out from underwater. Well, so this is not a great looking chart, right? For a bull, right? That obviously is pretty clear resistance on the way back. So you can see this is actually a good example. Mostly we're almost always looking here, looking for that play. Here you got to respect it the same direction, right? You got to anticipate that could very well be in play. So what you had hoped is that this was accumulation. The volume you had, this looks like you had more selling here because we drove it down. They couldn't really rally this thing. So you're kind of, at this point, my guess is if you're long, you've just become a long-term hodler. You're in this money?
Yeah, so I bought the initial dump and I hit 13 was my entry. And so when it hit 26, I had it as a sell in a sense, but because my entry was so good, I was like, yeah, screw it.
Yeah.
Which sometimes screws me because I try to buy lows perfectly and I do quite a bit, but then you don't take profits because you're like, well, it's, I'm at the very bottom. So
yeah.
Therefore I just want to hold it because my main target is obviously a lot higher, but, and it's an account. I mean, it's a E-Trade account that I don't really care about. So I wasn't too worried. So I'll just DCA down, dollar cost average down.
Yeah.
But I've got algos at 5 and 4. So, I mean, if it gets down there, obviously the smart play would have been to stop out and buy more, but it is what it is.
Yeah. At this point, I don't know that. I mean, really, you're at the position to where DCA on this is really your best bet, right? So you're making the assumption it's not going to go to 0. That's the first assumption you're making. So any sort of rally here, the problem is we have to get a higher low, right? And right now you just got lower lows, right? So the whole thing down, you can't even. Oh, I'm in log scale, so I can't draw a regression channel on it. But that would be my first thought. So here you could just do something like this. Okay, well, first, we got to break this downtrend. You got to break the, I would just kind of craft it like this, saying, okay, well, here's the obvious resistance we got to get through. All right, so you're hoping that this is just continued accumulation here. But the path here is going to be bumpy because the first thing you got, that's most likely what you're going to hit there, right? So bears are going to defend it there. Now, you got to get here, and you got to get a higher low. Right, and then you got to get in. Now POC, you got all of this work to do to get up and get through that. So if you're long and you're sitting in it, then just as Monte Crypto is suggesting, your best play here is, you don't want to sink too much in here, so you trap your liquidity down or your capital down here. But if you're in, oh shit, I mean that's pretty. Well, you can see you do have divergence here, right? So we can see that here. We're not as low as we once were, but you're going to need some bulls to step in here and start buying. Next hurdle here, just in the indicators here, you got to get over 50 in the RSI for us to establish. You can see here was the test on 50 before we got up. There's a lot of upside potential here. But if I were just looking at that for the first time, I'd be saying, okay, well, perhaps there's opportunity down here, but not until I see a higher low would I be, and I would want to see this break for any new position to get in there. Otherwise, you're kind of parked here and you're just going to keep an eye on it. And if you get to, as Monte Crypto's done, some of these extreme levels down here, maybe add to it, DCA down a little bit. I don't think there's much else to do there. There's really no Elliott count that would be useful to you here. You need one to start. So that's about all I can add there. I don't think there's much else to say. First, let's break the downtrend. You just connect the dots here, right? Let's break that. Now let's break the price action resistance, get a higher low, and then you got to start on something. And so probably 90 days from now, you're looking at something like that for the bigger move. And all of this would be a great spot where you'd anticipate maybe you get your 1-2 POC, which seems a reasonable spot. All right, I don't think there's much else to add there. That's just kind of an ugly chart.
Yeah, it was
for a bull.
Once I guess they had like 2 million LTCN unlocked from when they initially.
Oh, right.
I guess the early investors and all that through Grayscale, and it unlocked at the highs, and there was still like a 800% premium.
Oh shit! Yeah.
But so. They just absolutely nuked it.
Makes sense.
Because I was buying it up higher too, but luckily I stopped out of that.
One thing that's just a very strong indication of trend. If you don't, sometimes we get eye blind to it. You absolutely want to see the 144 and the 169 above the 233, right? And it takes a lot, right? Look how long before it crosses over to get them under the 233 here. That's going to take a long time to get that to flip over. That's why it's such a great long-term trend determinant with the Vegas wave. But right now, that's just all down. There is nothing here for a bull other than the opportunity to be buying at these levels. So, okay, now you said we had another one we want to look at?
Yeah, so strong USD.
Is it just, oh, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
KU coin looks like it.
And he wants it on KuCoin?
That's the only one I'm seeing, to be honest.
Yeah, otherwise it's Bittrex or Uniswap. So this one?
I guess, yeah.
Okay. Let's go out to a daily and take a look here. Now, do I need to be in log here? Probably. Note here, good example here. So as 233 still well underneath. I don't know what part of the market these guys are in. I've heard this name, but I don't know the asset. Well, just looking at it here, you see all the divergence here as we started to rally. Now we're on the other side here in the Elliott oscillator. Plenty of volume down here. Well, let's go back into log here and take a look at see what the Elliott count suggests. So here's COVID low. Well, that didn't look too hard. Okay, so sometimes the Elliott just stares you in the face. I'd be inclined to do this, right? So I don't know why we wouldn't. Just right off the bat, right? So it's often, right, the thing to do is just, okay, what's the most obvious thing here? And then kind of pick that apart and say, well, does that make sense? Or where'd we go? It looks like it's a bit squirrely here. I'd have to check that here. So that's a good contender, but are we going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? I got to check the length there. It looks like 5 would be the shortest. But sometimes you got to be careful because log will distort your view. Now let's come out of log for that. Okay, we're good. All right, so this would be, we can label it. All right, we don't have to be longer in log. We have to just be longer. So clearly 3 longer than 1. Looks like we got the extension in the 5, so let's bring that down. Micro, oh shit, that'll do. Okay, let's put that in blue. Okay, 1, 2, always just a good habit. Let's get in the habit of that. The prior 3, 4. That's deeper than you want. And we're broken here, so let's go to log and take a look now. Let's go to, what do I want? I want that one here. So we're right to the 38 in log scale. Now note here, again, I guess this is going to be a reference point for today. Note the 233 is above, right? The Vegas wave. Technically, the 144 and the 169 are the Vegas wave. I added the 233 to it. Okay, so we got a nice fat ridge of support here right at the log scale golden zone. We've got this pivotal structure here at the 50. Oh, what's not to like here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like that A is in. So looks like a pretty solid A. Working on the B, working on the C to come down here. So I'd be assuming that's over here. This is sharp, so you'd look for something more sideways here. It's probably worthwhile to label this up. It looks like you've got a good 5 here coming down. Not too hard to spot that. Now this is a bit of a choppy beginning, which makes you think classic B. So, well, here's the thing you're going to have to deal with right off the bat here. If we can keep going, looks like it's already had to wrestle with this pivot. Remember, every pivot is potentially rejection. So you're kind of right. You're right there between those two pivots. And then I'd test from the 2 to the 4 because that's the closest dominant I've got. That looks pretty good here. So we've gone right into the sell zone for the sell side algo. So you need a little more oomph in the B to set it up perfectly. Now, do you get it? It looks like that's 1, 2, or pardon me, A, B, or 1, 2, depending on if we're going to get an A, B, C here. It looks like we're working on the C. Let's go down to a 4, see if that looks any better. If this is the A, how are we going to get a B out of that? A, B, C. So looks like we're trying to finish with a diag here. So it looks like you've got A, B, and we're working on that C. Let's come micro, go to blue here to get up to that would be ideal. Oh, shit. I'd be mindful of this as well because that's the B, that's the retrace zone that you're really looking for. So I might pull this up here and say, okay, if we're going to get there, if that's A, B, and this is 1, 2, 3, well, we've got a clear diag. So it looks like that's 1, 2, 3, working on the 4, get our 5 up here. Oh shit, here, let's put that in green. That'll work. So we get a C into a B. Now, once you get there, don't forget, just don't only look through bull goggles, right? You're going to have that. You'll have a golden corner down here with that as a candidate. Although the trade-off there is length of time. So, I might do this, right? You guys have seen me do this. Where is it? Fib-based time. Let's just take, pardon me, I want to do this. I want to do the length of the 2. Projected from the 3. See how I look down here? Well, here we're pushing 200% of it, 2.618. We're getting on the edge here of taking too long. Yeah, that would be, well, just look at the size of it. But if that's our 4 relative to our 2, that could work. It could work. Substantially different. I mean, here's 200% of it. I wouldn't be longing it here off of the idea because this doesn't look like it's done. This is too self-contained, right? So you would think, oh, can I work the ABC in here? Well, maybe, right? You know, there's no absolute, but look how nicely that plays as a channel. Until we it would now with that broken, I don't see any reason not to call this all one continuous move. So this would be the impulse. Now we're working on the correction, but we need a 3 here. So now this is where you decide how much commitment you have to Elliott Wave, right? Because so how would you know, right? This is always the conundrum for the Elliottician. If we go up here and we do that, how do you know that's not a 1-2, right? Well, you don't. You don't know. So what do you have to guide you? Well, it's the context, because I've got a completed impulse here, and you lean into it all the harder because I can complete it all self-contained within an Elliott channel. So the A and the B, you look at it and you. So again, remember, you always want to think, who's on the other side of my trade, right? Who would be buying there, right? If we get into this zone. Right now, okay, retail is going to know about the 50 and the 618, but they're not going to know about the 65. They aren't going to know. Excuse me. They aren't going to know that there's another algorithm here. All they're going to look at is, hey, swing, retrace. Oh, off we go. Now, you certainly you could end up. I mean, shit, you could end up with a B up here. Right? There's nothing that says that we couldn't do something like this and have a deep B before we go down, except that you would lean into the idea that that was less probable because of the amount of time. Not impossible, just less probable. So would you want to be a buyer? Right? I mean, you can see the play, right? It would come right down into this. We're doing it right now. You're right to the Vegas wave. You're right to this prior structure here. Do you want to be a buyer here? Well, if it was me, I could be a buyer here looking for that move, if you wanted to, but now you're going with the larger trend, but you're trying to trade the 5 of the C of the B at this degree. Is there enough there? I probably would skip that one myself, right? I would skip it. But this one here would be pretty sweet, right? If you can get 2618 at the 50 at the structure, you got a high volume node here. I mean, you can just kind of look at this and say, well, that would make sense. Where are we here between the 50 and the golden zone? Right, so that's the one. Oh, the other thing here, and I guess I made my point there. Retail will not know to do this, right? They won't know that that's there. They won't draw a set of median lines on it because they don't use median lines because they don't know how significant it is. They don't know that algorithms use it. They don't know, right? It's the least used technical tool, and it's in every package. I'd bet you less than 2% of traders on the planet use it, which is our advantage. So here, right, there will be people, I guarantee you, if we get up there, there'll be people buying it right there. They will buy it right there. Guarantee you. Right? They'll buy right into it because they don't know it's there. Okay, so with that, this is where I'd be long. I'd be looking now. You may right, the risk always is that you don't get it, right? You don't get the opportunity. So if I'm entirely wrong here and this thing just blasts off and you have to squeeze into some sort of ABC here, I mean, if we come back here 3 months from now and it's up at new highs, that's probably what you do. But we don't get certainty; we just get probabilities. Right? So that's how I would tee that up. I'd be looking down here, 290. I'd go hard here. Well, I wouldn't load the boat there. I'd take a decent slug at it right there, and then I'd wait to add on the first little pop, right? Because you could anticipate bumping into the or the downsloping parallel, so you get a 1-2. Then you could be a little. Now you're adding. You've got a little bit of profit if you're a buyer here, right? Assuming you got that reaction. Stop under the pivot. Do you see where the target is from this sell side algo? Right at the 50, right at the median. It looks a lot like. Jesus, that looks like what Grant just teed us up over here, right? Where you have the median line and then the first push to the outer parallel. You're essentially trying to replicate that. Why? Because this is a pattern that repeats. And then you say, well, why do these patterns repeat? Well, it's because of how retail trades the market. Right? They don't. Retail is always looking for the next long, and they always want to buy it when it's going up. Right? They think, oh, I can't buy it. It's going down. I got to sell it. Right? So they sell right into this. They buy right into that. Listen, retail's done pretty well in 2021. So not to paint. I'm retail. We're all retail, unless you're an institution or a hedge fund. It's just you want to think who's on the other side of your trade and why are they taking the trade. If you're buying it, they're selling it. Why? And who's likely to be selling there? I just want you to think that through, right? Because a lot of times we look at it and we just go, oh shit, okay, it's at a technical level, let's buy it. Well, think it through though. Who's on the other side of your trade? Always a good thing to consider. So I think that pretty much maps that out here. If you just love it and you want to be aggressive, right? There's probably a trade there, but if I'm not taking I would take a partial at the golden zone, and then I'd be tight with my stop, so I can milk everything out of that. But then I would not go short myself. This is just me, right? I'm rarely short a crypto like this, particularly when I've got a clear impulse that's underway. But I'd be aggressive here. So maybe this, right, gives you a little more cushion on the stop on that play if you bank a little bit between the 4 and the 5. All right, I think that covers it. So let me get back to our members here. So, James M's giving me an ETH. Okay, right. Always curious what he's thinking. Okay. God, he and I have been back and forth on ETH a lot of times. Let's see where you are now, James. So top left is what he wants me to look. Oh, wait, I got to make a copy. Top left for a 6 hour on Kraken. All right, let's see. Let's look what we got here. This is pretty sexy, right? This is a Monte Crypto specialty, the inside pitchfork, which you think the percentage of people using median lines is low. It's even a fraction of that would even know to look at an inside pitchfork. This kind of a Monte Crypto special. Now here, look at this reaction here, right? So we're just coming down to the structure, right? So I don't want to disparage price action traders, right? I mean, now you look at that and you think, is it the price action? It looks like it's too deep for a golden zone. To my eye, it looks like we broke it. Yep, we did. So now you got to pull back and say, okay, well, it's not that. What else could it be? Front run at the 50 at structure? That would be my guess. Right, so when you see, remember, that's what the algo does, right? So if it breaks here, they don't just go, oh, fuck it. They're going to go to the next dominant pivot, right? What's the next one right here? Right, front run off the 50, off of that structure. Seems like that's what they did. Now, ABC into could that be the 2? Well, maybe. 1, looks like we're in the midst of the correction here. I actually like this. This is a nice word, James. So this consolidation here, something like that, well, your first thought is, okay, what the fuck? What we got here? Do I have a 4? Well, it doesn't fit as a 4. So what's the next alternative here? Something that's corrective, right? So here's the move. I mean, it's not rocket science. Here's the big push. Now we retrace and consolidate. Okay, is this legit? Well, they broke the golden zone on this side. Well, let's see. That's not your golden zone. That's your APP, right? So the length of the what do we got here? An X move. No, pardon me. The length of the W. Then we go into a WXY for the X. Now we're pushing for a Y here. Oh, it doesn't look like that's done though, James. Let's get in there. Truncate? I doubt it. All right, so we've got kind of a long sideways 2 here. So if we're right here, and that's the X, which looks pretty legit. Here, what did we get there? Did we get? Looks like a 50. All right, just shy of the golden zone here. What'd you use here? Did they use this? Oh shit! It almost doesn't matter because it looks like you went A, B, C, but the algo is not going to care about that. It's going to use the lowest one. So we're just shy. Here's all the resistance, right? It's not hard to spot. Right in front of that golden zone. So front run. Ooh, is that an ugly diag? That doesn't look too great, does it? Well, let's just play it out here. Let's go with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, pardon me. We're looking for a C. So we need an A, B, C. Actually, that plays better. Now, is that enough? Well, there's a nice little 3 to correct something. That looks like it's a clear double top. it looks more like we're in the B here, and we've still got more to go here. A, B, C. It looks very similar to this. We're just in a 4 here. Typical or B or 4. Not really moving the market. That looks like that could be technical as well. Length of the A projected from the proposed B. So we come right to the 100. So that's a reasonable spot for the B here, and just using the same thing he was doing with the alternate price projections down here. So that looks like a solid point of resistance here, at least at this moment in time. One more good example. I'm going to harp on this until everybody here stops doing it. Somebody bought that, right? Breakout trader. Oh, but here we go. Here we go. How do I know, right, that that's likely a liquidity provider just facing them? Because look at, right, that's how you know, right? We come right to it. Oh, you know retail bought there. You know it. Faced. Right, so they're already underwater, probably panicking. Right, if they've used leverage, they're probably already out. Now, where are we here? Well, I would start with this one. Right to the 50. We need a Y. So just to start it out, looks like there's a 1, maybe. Oh, that looks like it's 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see here. That's not higher, is it? No, we could do that. Right. So there's the higher 1, A, B, C into the 2. We need 5. Could be in diag. Doesn't have to be an impulse. But I'd be well. So next up, it's got to break that. Got to break this guy to get you your 3. Oh, you can almost, Jesus, you can just see, right? So again, think who's on the other side of your tray. You can almost see how they're going to handle this, right? So we're going to come down here. Who's going to be selling right there? Retail, right? We come right back here, right to the structure, right? Who's buying here? Retail. Down for the Y of the 5 of the C. Now, we got if this is, we got to pay attention to our pivots here in our count. W, X, A, B, C. Well, we could come down here. No problem coming to this. I mean, that's the algo target from this golden zone here. Right? If we're coming down, well, shit, that could go further. Right, 3, 4, 5. But down here, you got to be paying attention to the price action structure. So where's the play? I'd wait for a pivot down here, and I'd take that right there. Boom. That's what I'd be looking for. This is, it's really a question of how much you care about being precise, right? What kind of size are you trading? Because the alternative to all of this, right, this detail is just go, oh fuck, man. If I can buy Ethereum under $4,000, well, let's just start buying and dollar cost average in, because I'm confident over the course of the coming year we're going to be higher than $4,000. That's the alternative here. I mean, all of this is because you care and you're trading at this level of detail. I mean, there's good money to be made there, but is that the type of trader you are, right? So you keep it in perspective here. I mean, we do, these are relatively small swings, but you trade it right, and you can do very, 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 very well. I should use that as a reference that. Is a good example. I don't know, Monty. When Erixis came to us, we have a new brown belt on our team of members here. One of our long-term members who's just had a phenomenal year. I don't remember what his skill level was when he got here. I think he was pretty good when he got here, but he's absolutely killing it right now. So members, you all have seen that. To get to a brown,
he was decent. I don't know he knew too much Elliott Wave, but. He didn't know anything about options, which a couple of the members, or I guess Fast Draft, really, one of our options traders, showed him the ropes. But the biggest thing was his mental, right? Just the trap that everyone falls into of low time frame, over leveraged. Oh shit, like 3 minute. Oh, it lost it. Let me get out. Yeah, and then it rips the way you thought. Yeah. But he's learned to cut his losers and let his winners just run, and that's what's been the big thing.
Now, isn't that funny? Isn't that funny to say that? Because isn't that like, okay, so you want to be a trader? Okay, trading 101. That would be on page 1, chapter 1. Paragraph 1. Oh, you want to be successful in trading? Oh, it's a simple formula. You cut your losers quickly and you let your winners run. But how, I mean, years of trying to develop that mindset, because it's counterintuitive, right? So to be successful in trading, you really have to do the opposite of what your emotions are screaming at. Oh, that's why retail is so easy to spot, because they want to buy it when it's going up because they think it's safe. Oh, it's safe. I can buy it. It's going up. Or if you're trying to time your entries, that's ass backwards, right? That's exactly, I mean, literally exactly the opposite of what you want to be doing. Well, I mean, shit, we can go to, Warren Buffett, right? I mean, when there's blood in the streets, right? When people are scared, right? What causes these swings? It's not oscillators, right? It's not, oh, the RSI is overdone. It's greed, fear, over and over and over. And who's most susceptible to that? Right? That's again, not to shit on retail, but you can track what they're doing. And that's really what Elliott was doing, as in Ralph Nelson Elliott, was identifying those patterns of crowd psychology. That's the foundation of Elliott Wave. It's not some magic that happens in the market. It's crowd dynamics. And retail, who's almost always wrong, right? They're almost always on the wrong side, because when it's going down, they're selling. When it's going up, they're buying. Right? It's not that complicated, but it is funny that Erixis, who's now able to walk away from his previous career to become a full-time trader, is doing it after he mastered what was on page 1, chapter 1, paragraph 1 of How to Be a Successful Trader. Years later, a lot of trial and error, a lot of pain, a lot of experience. Now that's what made the difference. And you could have started there on day 1. But it's easy to say, right? To do it, develop that discipline. If it were easy, every trader would be rich. Okay, let me keep going here. I think we've got this, James. And I'm guessing you're thinking the same thing. So that we're in whatever we're doing here. This is corrective, right? So we're waiting for this. We're correcting. Oh shit! Here, let's just put the whole thing together. So
he said he thinks there's a double bottom.
Yeah. Well, right. So this is the swing. This is the retrace, right? This is all the market ever does. Right now, do we go down here? We're going to test that low, right? Seems likely. So if it's A, B, now how far we go here? Double bottom would make sense, right? Who's going to sell there? Right? So why would you be looking, right? Every pivot low is always an opportunity to be looking, right? Just like every pivot high is always an opportunity. Somebody's bought it here. Somebody bought it here. Somebody bought it here. Who's buying there? Right? Always ask yourself, who would be likely to be buying there? You're not going to know. I mean, you can look at volume, right? You can see what kind of size, what kind of size is going through there, but I'd be willing to bet you that was small size. Okay, I think we got that covered, James. We're down. You gave me a 6 hour here, so we put that all the way back to where we were. That median line here is kind of interesting, but this is what they're going to test, right? This liquidation wick. Same thing with Bitcoin, right? We're waiting for that to get tested because everybody wants to know, okay, what happens here? Right? Do we have a bunch of supply coming to the market, or is this just, we're going to reject again, because that's where demand shows up, right? So as we come down here, somebody will sell it right there. Guarantee you, right? It likely will not be a professional. Okay, good work, James. And I love the way you use that inside pitchfork. Really nicely done. That's a Monte Crypto specialty. All right, we're back. We can't do one without looking at the graph. So let's get that back up. Oh, this has become one of my favorites. I don't have as big a size as he does, but I always enjoy seeing where this is going. So let me copy that. I got a decent amount of this, just off of his enthusiasm, because I trust his judgment. All right. There, we're on a 6 hour. 3 counts for the move down. ZZ complete, coming into the 5th of the C of a ZZ. Boy, you know you're an Elliott Wave when you actually understand this. The C of a ZZ, or double ZZ down. Blue versus white versus orange. Think I'm in the blue camp. Okay, blue camp being here, so let's get a bigger look at this. You're liking that 6 hour. right? I like to do the same, right? You know, everybody's looking at the 1, the 4, and the daily, right? So look at the 3, the 6, and the 12. Oh, well, just looking at it here, let's see. So he's in the blue camp. So the blue camp would suggest that this is the initial 1. So we do it through a 1, 2, 3, 4 leading diag. So we're correcting all of it. We can just look at all the wick rejection down here. Yeah, we got down to it, but I would draw it like that. Okay, there's the base of support. Oh shit, let's put it all together. You probably do it like that. Okay, so we're coming into that support zone. Are you doing this in log, James? Maybe I'm gonna guess not. All right, so let's come here. So we don't have any buy side algo, right? They've all been broken. All right, so we look here, right? Clear breaks, right? So we don't pick up a buy side until we get a move, a small enough move here. Oh, that looks like that's already broken as well, right? So you're not getting an algo. Well, that might looks like it's too far. Yeah, we're too far here. We're through the 786 now. Log scale, but you wouldn't be looking log here. Even log, it's broken. So it's kind of the same thing. You've got a secondary level of support down here. Right, well here, all these wicks, right? So now that's not good news, right, for a bull, because right off the bat, just looking at this, so you're looking at, this is not what we want to see here, right? This is going to need to rally, right, because that sure looks like a 3, which kind of suggests more down. So 1, 2, maybe you can get a looks like a flat. So well, if we're going to get a flat, then we got to get a pretty big kick here. Just to draw your attention to it, look where the 233 is relative to the Vegas wave. Right, to flip that, right, here's where we flipped, right? Look how long it takes to flip that. But to do it is not insignificant, so pay attention to that. So we got to get the 233 underneath the Vegas wave. That's a bad sign right there. So we do have an impulse. Do we? Yeah, I guess we can call that an impulse. Impulse into the 1. That looks like A, B. I don't know, James. So you're in the blue. So you're thinking A, B, working on the C. Okay, well when you say blue, you gave me 2 blues here. I'm not sure what you mean by that one. Let's get that up a degree. That's a C. So A, B, C. That actually is starting to look more, because this kind of sucks for you here. Well, for us, I should say, for bulls. This is not what we wanted to see there, right? To start the new year with that little fucker. Let's see. Looks like a 50.
James said the flat is from further left. The blue ABC, which suggests more down.
Yeah. Yeah, so this would be a bad sign. So your best case here for the bull case would be that somehow we're going to go 1, 2. Now this is going to have to be the A, B, C of the B. We're going to have to kick here to get some sort of a diag going. That seems like a little bit of hopium. So, and if you come down here with the 2, oh, that's not going to be good. You don't want the 2 down here this low. So this looks like the 1 here is going to get killed. So I like this count here, which you've got A, B, C, and then we're going, this looks like 1 working on 2, and now we're going to go 3, 4, 5 is what it looks like to me. As I sit here just looking at the shorter term, now that is a 6 hour here. Oh, what's here, right? We got to see what else is there. Was this off of that pivot? Did they use this? They might have. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God, it's just funny, right? So we get a nice impulse, right? Note, not the 618, right in the golden zone. So where's that target right there? So what do we have here? Now, this is quite like Bitcoin, right? This is a secondary pivot, so you're a little bit less sure about it. Now, it might be a dominant off of the higher pivot. Did we get a 50 here? Yeah, you could look at it that way. But then if I'm doing that, coming down here. That could be what we're looking at. All right, so now you would just be looking at this thinking, okay, well, now I've got, look at the confluence here, right? So this would be a really bad spot to be longing the market, right? Well, so somebody longed it there. We got the confluence here of the golden zone and the 50, not a good spot for a long. So what do we, looks like we're doing, oh, fuck, what do we need here? We need, that looks like 1, 2, right? We're looking for, or AB. We're looking for something to finish down here before that starts again. So this right here, bad place to long the market. Look, right, see, so on a 6 hour here, you'd be longing right into the 233, or shit, it'd be, most people will use the 200. So you'd be longing right into the 200, right into a golden zone, right into the 50, right into the price action. I mean, who's going to do that? Right, I'd like to think I've taught enough people not to do this. Right, here's the pivot. Right, here's what they're doing. So why are they buying here? Well, number one, they don't know the golden zone is there. They don't know how this algo works. They are ignoring the 200 or the 233 because they're why right? Well, I was just talking about this greed. Oh, it's going to break. It's going to break. Look, even if they broke this, look what they're going to run into next. Right, look at that. Right. Don't discard the price action, right? So that was clear support. Well, now these guys are going to defend there, right? They're going to want to push it lower, right? So even if you get this here, now will that flip the Vegas wave over the 233? No, not going to do it. Here, look here, right? Didn't even budge it. Not going to do it. So even if this rolls up even higher here and it's A, B, and then we're coming down for the C, this is not a great place to be looking on the long side. We need to get down here. So what has to happen here, and kind of the same concept, is pretty, we have to come down here and then get that move here. This, now I can get an algo on my, I can tuck in behind an algo here. Right now, sell side algos are fully in control. They're breaking all the buy sides. And you've got all the geometry pointing lower, right? And the last pivot here, which was technical, says down. So I think this is one, I wouldn't be shorting it, right? Because, well, I'm long-term hodler here. I wouldn't be shorting it, but I'm not looking to be a buyer just yet, right? That's where I want to see it, right? Finish this, whether it's A, B, C, or whatever we get here. Right, if this is all part of a bigger correction. Well, it would be, because the assumption is this is the dominant one here. So if this is going to be A, B, we're going down for the C, then you start looking down here. But good work, James, as usual. I like that you gave me all that detail here, but I think we're going to have to wait a little bit longer. We'll get there eventually. I'm not worried about it. Well, I know you might be a little more. I think I have 10 grand in it. I mean, I don't have a lot. I know you have a lot, right? So so moving down, I got, we'll stay with James M here on Flux US dollar tether. This looks interesting. Ooh, I'm getting hot. It's absolutely freezing here in Austin. I'm sure it's freezing for you too, Monty. Sorry, I'm getting hot. I turn my air on. Okay, so what are we doing here? We're looking at Flux, bottom left. Okay, so Flux. Oh, fuck. Oh, no, I do that every now and then. Flux. Let's get you up here. Oh, fuck me. Come on. Why am I getting that? Oh, fuck. I know why. I didn't make a copy of it. Oh, did I? I thought I did. Why am I getting the strategy tester down here? All right, that is highlight, and I am popping that open. There we go. All right, welcome to Monty Crypto Magic here. All right, so we're doing Flux to the dollar tether. Let's get that put away for a second. All right, so that is not the COVID low. Where is the COVID low? It looks like we're not, it's too new. 1, 2. I don't know how we argue with that. Looks like a WXY. Oh, shit. I don't know that it matters. Looks like a WXY because it looks like it finishes with 3. Okay. 1, 2. Interesting. So okay, let's just play it out. Okay, so if this is 1, 2, all right. So your first thought is, okay, well, why not 3? So my guess is, let's see. So you gave this to me in log here, so it's probably not far enough. Oh, come on. Well, we're there in log, and we're certainly there out of log. But I know he's got a reason, so let's look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, okay, so you're going, okay, so I got a couple of questions for you. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I'd want to go 3, 4. Well, you don't get a 5. Okay, I see what you're doing. Okay, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, it's very bullish. You'd have to have an alternate that perhaps a 3 had gone in here to go that many 1, 2s. That's a lot of 1, 2s. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1, 2s in a row. That's mighty bullish. Okay, just so we can see it a little better, I'm going to hide that because it's tough to get a feel for what's going on there. Okay, so this is, okay, I like this, right? I like this all as self-contained. Okay, so why here? I'm just going to hide that so I can get in here and speak to it here. Oh, here, let me just hide those so I don't lose them. All right, well, so this makes sense to me. All right, so this is all self-contained. So we have a completed impulse here. Now, can we not attach it somewhere? Could this not be 1, 2, 3? Now, well, my guess is he would say no because of the amount of time that's taken relative to that 2. So that would steer you that direction. So I may end up in the same place. I would just couple up. It's just out of habit. I just always do this. So it just gives me a better sense of where the support and resistance is. So this is just how I would approach it. Okay, so I got pretty good support down here. These have all got to go off. And we're trying to get a B wave here. So that all, I'm going to change that color too. Let's put that in something else. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2. God, that's fucking bullish. Well, where's the geometry? So when in doubt, you just kind of start poking around here and saying, what are we hitting? I'm going to do this. Just so I can guess that's what I'm used to. All right, so notice Vegas wave. Right, clearly the trend is up. So if we're completing here, so if it's 1, 2, god damn, that's a lot. I'm struggling with all the 1, 2s. So I like this WX. That's really nice into the triangle. Nice work there. WXY. So that we get an A here. That's a 3. So oh, that's interesting. Look, do you guys see that? That's good work, James. All right, a couple back-to-back triangles. Right, you got to know what you're doing to spot that. Right, so we get 2 of them back to back. So the market is just uncertain what it wants to do here. That's really nicely done. Okay, so WXY into an A, WXY into a B up here, which would put us up here. Well, you got to be mindful of how far that can go. So I would do this here. I got, doubles here, right? So this is about it. Well, that may be why he's got that up here, right? So we don't want to let it go past the 1618. That's too far for a B. So you'd relabel it. Well, I can't say I love. No comment on your work. Your work is spot on. I just the whole thing just doesn't look. So what are we trying to do? We're going to go into a short here. Doesn't quite look like it's ripe yet for any sort of a trade that I'd be comfortable with. I'd be uncomfortable shorting that. 1, 2. Well, so we're looking for A. We need 3 into the B to give us the Y. How are we looking down here? We're pretty hot. Yeah, so for me, I'd be waiting here. I'd want to see this come down here. So I'd want to try and frame it this way. Okay, so if this is just if we're gonna go sideways here and consolidate, the 5 1 2s in a row would make me a little uneasy. But if I could get something here where I could kind of get a better grip on what we're doing, this is where I'd be looking. So we still. Oh, Jesus, where this 1 starts right here. Fuck, where are we starting that 1? We're starting it right here. So this would be what you're pulling from. Now, let me fix that. Come here. Well, that works for the ABC, but I would be sitting on the sidelines here, James. I don't know what you've got here, but I don't like it enough. One, I never, ever buy breakouts, ever, right? The only way I would even consider that is if it came back down here, right? And then I might look at it. Right now, these guys, we know, right, who's buying right here, right? Who's buying there? Now, right now, oh shit, that's an 8 hour. Let's go down to a 1, see how that looks. So you could make a case for rotation here. We got through. Now, if that holds, well, oh, what do you use here? I think you use the 21 and the 26 and the 11. I'd be paying attention to all of this. Right. So if we got, well, here's what I'd do. Right. So if I'm looking to long it, I'd be looking down here. I'd want to see it come back. Look how the Vegas wave would be right there. So that wouldn't be a great spot per the Elliott count, right? You'd just be playing off of the support resistance. Oh, you'd have to. Oh, looks pretty good. Yeah, I just don't see a great opportunity here. I think this is very solid TA. I just don't think it's ripe. I don't want to buy it going up. I want to wait for something deeper to come down. So if that does finish up here, and this is what we get up here, yeah, I don't think the median lines are going to play here, but I'd just take a peek at it just to see. Now, we're assuming it's corrective, so we go to a shift. That could be interesting if that gets a little further up here. I wouldn't short it myself, but if I were long, that's where I'd look to take some sort of profit, and then if we come back down, might get more interesting. So there you go, James. I just don't think it's quite ripe yet. Sure is bullish, boy, to be if that plays out 5 1 2s in a row. Holy shit, that'll be at $50 if that all plays out. But this consolidation here, I'd want to buy on the lower edge, not on the upper edge. So for me, I'd want that coming down before I was looking at the long side. But this is great TA, great Elliott work. All right, I don't know that I can add much more there. Okay, well, it looks like we got a short list today.
You had skipped when we did the donations. You had skipped Gravity.
Oh, sorry.
ES1 and Apple.
Oh, did I miss that? Oh, where is he? Oh, there he is. Gravity Anti. Oh, God, I always clench a little bit on his because he always gives me a challenge. Okay, so let's look. If I take that first one, off note, I've been hearing the perspective of a continued flat. Okay, so let's see what he gets here. All right, Gravity, what are you thinking? Let me get a copy here. So this is the S&P, which has been, oh, what'd you give me here? 15 minute? Oh, perfect, right? That's what I track every day. You guys know most of my day trading is always in the futures market. So I was busy this morning. Okay, this looks pretty good. So it takes me a minute to figure out what we're doing here. Okay, so I gotta back out here. WXABC, I like that. So if we go WX, I don't think we can do that. I think the X has to come over one. Oh, you got that locked. Oh shit, this is when I need Sensei Tutum. I don't think that the AB can go beyond the start of the X, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that has to bump over. All right, so this all looks impulsive.
So he said wrong one. It's on ES1.
Oh, sorry. Oh, this is the SPX here. So, shit.
ES1 estimation. So just the futures one.
So if I just type it in, you think it'll come up?
Yeah, it should, as long as you're
on his thing?
On the, yeah.
ES1. And do we want continuous? I will do continuous. Okay, there we go. Okay, this is nice. Okay, so he's using some fib time in here as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm with you there. I have the same. So we're coming out. Let me go back to an hourly here. Let's just take a look at where we are. All right, so clear. All right, so clear support and resistance zone. This is what we did over the holiday. Oh shit, the entire month was pretty much this, right? And then the last kick to end the year. So I like that. Okay, but where are we? 1, I have the same. 2, 3, 4, 5, WXY, I have the same. Oh, actually, I have my X over here because I got this as a diag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They fucking wouldn't matter, right? Same difference. We get to an A down here. B, this is nice work, gravity. That's nice work. Now, straight. See, you see what you kind of have to back into it. Because with this rip here, you got to look back over here and say, well, wait a minute, what? Because it can't be 1, 2, right? So what? Just process of elimination. Once you're here, you're kind of working backwards, saying, okay, well, that's the start of the correction. This is a part of the correction. I mean, we're going sideways, right? So it's all connected. All of this is part of the same corrective price action because we can't get rolling until this starts. So we've had the ripping impulse. Now we're coming back. Now we're testing all of that, right? So you can just. The point there being is, don't overcomplicate it. It's pretty straightforward. Now, if we're going to come down deeper, well, where would we be here? This is his 3.8, his is 50. Here's his golden zone. Oh shit! So I'm going to open that up. So you've got us going WX, and we're in the Y. Let me go down to a 15. I never know what you're doing with the black lines. I think those are your trend lines. Okay, so 1 sideways sharp WX Y. Okay, I'm with you. So we're seeking the 2. And this would be a very shallow 2. Here's so he's got it in green here, but it wouldn't be related as an algo target, I don't think. Here, so we've got WX now. Is that enough? Doesn't look like it, right? It wouldn't make sense based on the time, which is why I think he's adding the fib time here. So if this is A, B, C into the Y, we're gonna have to do a double here, or a triple, I should say. W, well, that's clearly the X. Well, the problem here is length of time. Well, let's just take a peek here. I can't tell where the pivot is there because I can't move that. I got to unlock that. Let me just move that. There we go. Okay. I'll put that back now that I can see the pivot. There it is. Okay. So we've gone, let's get right on it. Looks like this looks corrective. So it looks like we're doing this. Right, so here's the swing, here's the retrace, right? When I was trading this morning, right, these lows got rejected here, so you can see the wick rejection. So this is pretty straightforward, right? So all of this, we've come down here a couple of times and rejected. No sellers show up here. You've got all that volume down here, but right, that's commonly called, climax volume, right? A selling climax. Then the volume drops off. So you can kind of ascertain from that, well, here was the next attempt. to try and punch the lows, right? So, but look at the volume, how much reduced the volume is here. So if you're right here and then you look down here, well, the sellers were, well, they left the party, right? So if we're going to come back up here, you got two hurdles, right? First, you got this one, where Jesus, where it just banged, right? So right to the, oh, it looks like you got a slight break there. That's good for bulls. If I'm right, if I may not be right on there. It's pretty fucking close. I get right on it. So what did we hit? The 65. I'm right on that fucker. Right, we're banging it right now, trying to get the 65, and you can see why. Right, look left. Right, always look left. A, B, C. Looks corrective. Like we're still in a. It's just so. It's absolutely amazing to watch. Right, if you look at it on a footprint chart, you can really see it. But remember, right, if that breaks, we got to go to this one. We got to go to the previous all-time high. So it looks like they're going to get that before the end of the day. So if that breaks, then we got a little bit of a hurdle. So then now you put that in context. So you've got the ingredients here. You just don't have the right amount of time. A, B, C. You could be done here. Oh, fuck. Could be done here. But does that 2 look right? Well, what's the alternative? Well, I don't see any way to get a 5 in here, so we'd be just in another series of 3s. Let's pull that back out. So this, oh, I think this is the one I moved. All right, so you see the problem here. So you'd be making the deduction here that we went W, X, Y. All right, so the balance of it doesn't look particularly good, right? You'd want to see this more like that, ideally, right? Ideally. So do you want to be a buyer right now? Just look at that. Okay, would you want to be a buyer right there going into a golden zone? Now that's the golden zone from the top. Well, if this correction is over, what's coming here is going to need to be massive, right? This is going to need to be a big kick, because if that's the 2, this would be the 1, 2, 3 of the next leg, right? That would be the 3 of the 1 of the 3rd at this degree. So if we really rock here, you'd have to be thinking that. You'd have to be thinking, well, shit, it's unusual that it's that abrupt. But now, if I'm a swing trader here, and I'm a day trader in the S&P, but if I were swing trading here or looking at an options play, I wouldn't, not until that needs to break and then come back. Then maybe I would long that for a swing trade. Right here, coming into that golden zone, this structure here, I'd be chomping at the bit to short it. In fact, if I look over. We're also here, if I were to put it on here, let's just do this real quick, right? You see, he should have it here. I don't know why he doesn't. Let's just go in EMA. Let's get it 200 on there. Oh, because I've got... Shouldn't matter. So we're coming. You see? I don't know if you can see it there. I should make that. Let's make it white. Let's fatten that up. Okay. So look what we're hitting right there. Right. So this is. All right. So who's going to buy it at that price action, at the golden zone, at the 200 EMA, with the price action resistance there? Who's going to buy that? Well, it's kind of a rhetorical question, right? So would that be a good place to be longing the market? Probably not. Doesn't mean it. Now, of course, when I say that, I'm not suggesting that there's the jump hard and go short it. That's not what I'm saying, right? But this would be a terrible. But just the risk rewards parameters here to be longing the market there, bad idea, right? And it looks like actually there's if I go to a 5-minute. Looks like you got a little measured move here, right? Because if you track this, I mean, I trade off of a 1-minute, right, in the S&P, and the NQ. I'll see sometimes 15 of these in a day. it's just relentless, right? It's just how the market moves nonstop, right? So here it looks like you've got this one. They just got target here. Now we're going there, so it's going to wrestle with the 200. So if you're a swing trader and you're looking at regardless, right? You always want to keep an eye on the 200 EMA because institutions track it. Right now I tweak it a little bit. I use the 233 just because it's a fib number and because everybody else is using the 200. So, it's just either one would be equally as effective. But do you want to long it there? Well, you'd want to see a lot of volume get into that. Oh, it looks like you've got a corner pocket as well. Let's get. All right. So if it's corrective, right, where you're on the edge, you're going to go get the 65 at the pivot. Now it may get through there. Shit, it may get through there while I'm recording this on the 5-minute. This would be interesting to see while we're here. Right, so it's hitting the 65 in the median line, assuming I'm right on that. I'd be looking at the footprint chart myself, looking for signs of trapped longs there. There's a little reaction. That's interesting, right? We might get this. Shit, let's see here. This is how I'd be looking at it. So there, now do they get through? There's enough volume there, they might. So if they get through, then the way to approach that is I want to see it tested from above because this was a resistance. There's the break. It got through. They got through on the 1 minute. Now it has to close above, right? That I had some members here. We got watching that here. You got to be careful of the little micro golden zones. It's got to close above it because often it'll go through and then it won't close above it. All right, I guess I've done enough there. I got caught in my own little day trading world there. Okay, so as we sit here, it looks like we're going to get the break. But again, you want to see that close above it, not just break it intra-bar. So if we get this and now it comes back down, well, now you're thinking, oh, maybe I've got the 1 going in here. So 1, 2, this is going to, there would be the 3, right? So you get a 1, 2. This is going to be a proxy for the 1, 6, 1, 8. Back for the retrace 4 into the 5, and now you're thinking, well, I'll be damned, right? I got an impulse here. Well, let's label it. All right, so if I got, well, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I'm lagging a bit there, right? Because we've already got the 1, 2. Well, let's label it. So at this degree, it would be 1, 2. Now we're not there yet. 3, 4, 5. At the submicro. Let's go with yellow so it stands out, right? So that's what you're looking for. Now, do you see here we did not get a close here, at least on the 15-minute. You don't have a close above. You got to be careful of that because it's really tempting. I've learned this the hard way. When you get the break of it, it's not enough, right? It has to close above it. I've been burned there enough times that I can speak from experience there. It's tempting, right? When it gets through it, you think, oh, fuck, that's it, right? Well, so you're through. But it's very often you'll see it come back down and won't close above it. So just be mindful of that. If you get the close, then you're buying the ramp here. So be careful of that. You really want to wait for it to come back, right? You want to wait for that to come down a little bit. Looks like we're certainly going to get the median line, right? Remember, right down here, we had 80% odds that we'd get there, right? It's not a golden, right? Doesn't need to be a golden. You still get the 80% as long as this pivot holds, right? Now we're just about there. All right, I think that covers it, gravity. So this will be interesting to see if we get the completed impulse here to tee up that 3, we'd be at a new all-time high. It would surprise me if this is the 2, but market surprises me all the time. All right, gravity had a second one too, didn't he? It was
yeah, I think it was Apple.
Apple. Okay, so let's look at that one. Oh, that'll be interesting. Going for its 3 trillion market cap. It seems inevitable. It's just a race who gets there first. Okay, this is nice work. Gravity does very nice work. I follow his colors sometimes, but I like his work. Okay, so that's not right. So I need Apple here. So I keep getting, I think he gave me Apple. Oops. There we go. Oh, into 2 A's. Okay, nice divergence down here. Is that the copy? Can I work on this? I guess I can. Okay, so no, that's. I always say to the guys when they post, you don't need to post any Elliott Wave. Just give me some sense of what direction you're thinking, and he's making it pretty easy for me to spot that. He does. Okay, so I see what you're doing with the black. These are your median lines. That's what's throwing me. Okay. All right, so that 5 is gonna, I think, go up here. So you gave me a 15. So what do we got here? Where's the 1 here of this one? If that's the 3 at that degree, I'm missing a 1. 1, 3, 3, 4, 5 of the 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is going on there? I need to get that one. I need to see what that's. Oh, it is connected. Why don't I have the wave? Oh, that's why. Is that why? Come here. Oh, fuck me. What's going on there? Why don't you, are you locked here or something? Shit. Oh, that's why. Okay, there we go. Okay, so what is that connected to? I got to go back here to see what we're doing here. So that's 1. Wow. Okay, so you're going 1, 2. That's a big 3. So the only problem is the degree is not right. So if that's, you're already over intermediate. That's intermediate there. So that's your bigger 3. Okay. So big 5 still to come. Even bigger 5 still to come. Okay, that's starting to come together. So we got, off of this nice triangle here, early part of the year. Boy, that's nice work here, right? Spotting the triangle. Up we go for a 1, 2. Looks like that was technical. It's just always fun to check, right? I'd be very shocked if it were not perfectly technical. It is. So we got that. Into the 1, 2. We got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got a candidate here for the 3. Okay, I see what the thinking is here. So this is potentially not long enough here. We're there, but we didn't get the 1618. So it looks like he's thinking that could have more to go. So let's get that. Let's get rid of that thing now. Oh, come here. No, I don't want that. Now that I can follow it. Okay, so 1, 2, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candidate for the 3, right? It remains to be seen. Okay, so let's go dig in there now. We'll go back to that 30. Now that I can follow where we are here. Oh, gee, that's hard to spot. Okay, so candidate 3, A, B, C into the 4. So I'm assuming that comes down here. So 1, 2. All right, let's get in there. Boy, that's a shit. I can barely make it out in there. I've got it right in front of me. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Looks like we got a double zig in here. Wait a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't say I like that. All right. So this is a toughie here. 3, 4, 5. Good point, though. What do you do with it, right? So it's either an expanded B or the 5 is in, but to call that the 1? Well, we're on a 30. That's a bit of a stretch to... here, let me do it this way. Oh, shit. Here, I'm getting bogged down here. Let's just go see if I can get that done. Is there a 5 there? ABC is there for the 4. Well, we got to account for it. My thought would be they might be part of the. Well, you got 3. You could expand the B here. I just to finish it here. Well, boy, that would be a. Well, let's stay with it. Okay, so we complete an impulse here. So let's stay with that idea. So we get a sideways correction here from this, going sideways, WX, Y. So one, looks like we can't have the 2 here. So we can't have that quite because this, we get a new low here. So we can't go 2 here. So we could go Y. Shit, they're all locked. We could go Y here. We can't go 1, 2. But we could go Y of the 5 here. Oh, leading diag. Looks like we're starting with the leading diag. But it's just a tricky one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get you your diag. That's so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is how he's counting that to get that done. A, B, C into the 2, so that I like. I follow you there. Oh, along the way, right? It's just a good idea to say, okay, where's the obvious support? Just get it labeled, right? So I got you on the direction. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're still going. So I'd be inclined to be thinking this is still more to go. And that was part of the internal. There's a beautiful 3 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 looks like what you're going to have to do there. Yeah, really impulsive comes after a leading diag, right? So that's, you're absolutely right. So the choppy 1, so the diag is always the market struggling to get a new trend going, which is why you get the overlaps, because bulls and bears are fighting it out here. 1, 2, 3. That's such a clear 3. I'd go with the 4 there. 1. There's another beautiful 3. So it looks like we're past that. So I'm gonna just hide that. Boy, this is a toughie. Well, looks like that's got more to go. We can't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because 3 would be the shortest. So it has to be 1, 2, 1, 2. Right, I told you. He always gives me really tough ones. So I'm guessing if he's posting here, he's struggling with it too. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. It's got to be 1, 2, right? So this wouldn't be in yet. Well, I shouldn't say got to be. 1, 2, 1, 2. We've already got an overlap, so that actually kind of fucks you on the. Well, we could have a diag there. We could finish with an ending diag. So looks like we've already got. Well, we don't. 1, 2. We could be A, B, C here. Now, how far is that going? Well, let's just tee this up. Wait, I get stuck on some of these. There's that. So we're far enough, but it's clearly a 3. So I would just be labeling as it goes here. Now, if we overlap here, so we can't go 1, 2, 1, 2. Well, pardon me, we could, but that sure looks like a 3, doesn't it? I'm on a 5 minutes, so we're kind of stuck there. So you're really looking for this to come down. You're looking for that to be the 3, right? I don't think you can get a 5 in there. I'm on a 5 minute, so you need that to come down. So actually, if this kind of thing happens like this, and you come into any of this structure down here, I'd be a buyer because there's really no other way to count that. Assuming it's 1, 2, 3. I don't think it's 2. I don't think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're done because that's just such a classic 4. Oh, Jesus, if there's something that we can't finish it there. Well, I take that back. Let's just consider an alternate here. If it were this way, right? How could we finish it here? Because it looks like it wants to finish. We could do it this way. 1. Let's put this. Well, this has to be down here. 1, 2, 3. That's not much of an ABC. That might get you done. Ending diag. Just to give you an alternate, right? Because it doesn't quite look Like that's just going to keep ripping. It looks like it needs something to correct it. So either as you've got it, so the way he counted it, which I suppose, right, is without complete information could be just as valid, that we went 3, 4, 5, and we went 1, 2, and then, well, it's not impulsive, so it looks like it's some sort of a diag here, but it wouldn't be the 3, so you wouldn't go 1, 2. I mean, you could finish it here, but is Apple going to have topped here on the first day of the new year? That would be surprising. Without some event, we do have the jobs numbers coming on Friday, so yeah, I don't think there's a trade here. I'd be waiting, Gravity, for the dominant to retrace before I got overly inspired here. This is potentially, as you mark these out, right in here, the prior resistance potentially now is our support. This pivot and these pivots here, so that would put us here. Well, if you got this one, it'd be ideal. Bringing all that over, and this is just wick. So if I came down here, I might have to spend a little more time with the entire account. WXY1, this is the candidate for the 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. This isn't unclear to me. I want to do this. My eye wants to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're done. Now, what would we have finished there, right? It would not likely to be the 3, although it could be. The 1 of the 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, ending diag finishes it. Well, so if I've got that right, yeah, it would be down here. So if this is going to top it, that's where I'd be looking right there. Now, if I get that in 3, you can kind of see how it, might give you that kind of a setup, right? Freak everybody out. Who knows what we get from the Fed? Well, Fed minutes come out this week as well, and then we got the jobs numbers on Friday. That might be just enough to bring it into all of that structure down here, or you got all of this to work with before the next leg up. That's what I see there. So if it comes down here, I'd probably go to the options market and buy some right close at the money options, maybe with I like 60 to 90 days, so you got to pay for that. But so we come down here, maybe you're buying in the 180s, slightly in the money, so it's not just all-time value, and then look for that to rip. That's what I see there. All right, I got kind of stuck there. That's a toughie. I would want to do that from scratch myself and see if I got to the same spot. But great work, right? Gravity does really nice work. All right, I think we covered everybody. Gravity. Oh, there's Gravity. He's in here because this is from my major count, so I got some different degrees. I always got a mess. Yeah, you do give me a mess. Yeah.
We do still have Frade 57. If you.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I forgot. I got to the end here and I got Frade Simon's games. Okay, hey Gravity, I may shoot you. I want to work on this myself and see if I come to the same thing. Right, your work looks very good though. Okay, Frade 57. Let's finish up there. Let's see how that looks. I'll shoot you a text, Gravity, see what I come up with. I haven't really given it a hard dig down to a 5-minute. But it makes me curious. Okay, so let's go copy, save. Frade 57, he'll give us something good. He's solid as a rock. All right, so let's pop up here. Siemens Games Renewable Energy. No, that's not. Is that Games? What the fuck is that? Siemens. Fuck, I don't know how to pronounce that. Games? It's not Games. Well, whatever it is. All right, so let's take a look. Let me go. Previous way 1 comes from token with history, but for poor volume. Is this must be a foreign company? I'm sure it is.
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it. Okay. So he's saying that this comes, we're coming from something below to, okay, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a good example here. I might pop this in log just to break it out a little bit. So we got to allow for the well, from our perspective here, this is the low, right? We've got here. So clearly that's a 3. Well, there's a 5 here, 3, diag, right? That's kind of what we're looking at with Apple. 1, 2. It's long enough, right? So we can get a diag there. It's not the ideal, but it's there. I mean, you would kind of do it that way, like that. So it's, I mean, this kind of puts you better into that camp. 2, right? Not much else to do with it. So you do it 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not sure how we can get that there, but well, there's the clear 3 for the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 extension in the 5. So the tricky bit is in here. This would have to be.
So it looks like they're from Spain and they're doing solar or not solar, wind energy. So they're onshore. So you've got turbines and you've got offshore wind power.
Oh, I like them all the more.
So basically, wind turbines in the ocean.
Cool. Well, this is a little gnarly in here. What am I? I'm on an 8-hour. All right, so you've got to get the 1, 2 here. It looks like you want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, but you need it. Well, let's stay with it here because now we've already done it here. So let's call that so we finished the 1, 2. Where is that? Do we get it done? Boy, the symmetry is iffy. So this, actually, I talk about this a lot. And so just right off the bat here, I'm just trying to show this. If this is 1 and this is 2, look what we're doing here. Right. Now, it's not that this isn't possible. It's just very atypical. So makes me ponder for a second here. This being all self-contained, well, here you could use it if I take it out of log. Right, so here I want this to be all self-contained. So God, I don't want to go. If it's 1, 2, 3, that's a monster 4. I don't like the 4, so the count is a little iffy here. Right, so there are times where the Elliott is just either you don't have enough information or we're looking at an incomplete picture is another way to say that, or it just doesn't look right. So it can create more of a problem than a benefit, right? So if it's, I love what you've done here in terms of defining the channel here. So whatever we're in here is not over until we get, you have to have a, come here. You have to have a break and then come back and then test some of that structure, because just a little. Well, here, look, a little break here is not enough. Now we're right back into it. I mean, all you did there was double top. But I hate the shape of it. Not that I mean not. There's no reflection on your work. It's just the. I hate the shape of this 1, 2, or even here, 1. Well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It just doesn't look right. So my thinking would be that this is not connected to that. That whatever we did here is done. So I like it more, I think, as a 1. Phew, I can't say I love it though. I'd have to see if there's a bunch of other. Why is there with more history but poor volume? Okay. It looks to me more like we came somewhere from lower, and this is the sideways, and then we went there. So I don't think I would apply. I wouldn't lean on the Elliott count here, is I guess what I'm trying to say. Maybe that's a 1. Oh, I guess I'd do this, right? Say, okay, well, let's just kind of get all that encapsulated there. There, I do them like this. Oh shit, you get the idea. Well, what are we doing down here? So that looks like he's forecasting that. So if we come back down, well, here, that's exactly what he's doing. So here's his entry price right here, which would be, oh, the value area high. All right, so he's looking at a longer term chart. That's nicely done, right? So you don't necessarily have to take all that screen space here, but he's just marking these off. Value area high at the 786. We got anything below? Nope, we don't. So W, X, Y, X, Z. Nice, right? So we get a sharp triple. That's quite a correction. All self-contained. So you're going to have to wait for this to, if this is the X of this, so that you're going to have two X's here. If this is A, B, and now we're working for the C. To call that a 4, I don't think so. Maybe a 2. I like it better as a 2. End of the day, though, I don't think the Elliott here is particularly helpful. This, okay, I got a clear sharp triple. Now, if I come down here and get that pivot, shit, I don't think I would. I'd have to know more about this. But here, right, do I get a little kick? So where's the, here you can see the obvious resistance would be right here. I'm using, oh, I guess when I copy, I get your stuff. So I'd want this to come down here. Right now, there's where you're likely to hit that structure, right? So that may kick it down. Now, there's where I'd be a buyer. Looking for that. Right, establish. Okay, give me something to break the character of what we're doing. Because look, okay, when in doubt, slow down and just break it apart and say, okay, what's the most obvious thing I can see here? Right, lower lows, lower highs, all self-contained within a channel. So to be trying to make a hero play here and pick the turn, there's just no reason to ever do that. Why? What would make you think, oh, that's it right here? Okay, we're at structure here. We'll at least break the pattern of higher highs, higher lows. Give me something to give me a higher high. Now, I got to have a higher low, right? Otherwise, the thing just continues to go down. So here, where I can define, so I might do it this way. So I would pull it up a little bit. So if we got, come up a little tad there. Something to break the pattern here. Oh, I got a high. And now, of course, I hear I'm on an 8 hour. I go down to a 1 and say, okay, can I get a 5 here? Can I get a 5 here? If I do, then on the retrace, now I'm interested. Break the channel, break the pattern. I need a higher high here. So somewhere in here, we got to get this, right? We've got to get, so I can look at it and say, oh, higher highs, higher lows. Right now, you can see how that could be structure it would run into, starts the retrace. But it doesn't look ripe yet.
Did you mute yourself?
Whoops, sorry. Give me the swing down here. Give me a 5 off the low, right? Break this channel, a series of, so I can just see, even if they're micro, right? Higher highs, higher lows. Okay, something has changed. We've changed the character of this, right? So here you could have thought it here. Oh, 1, 2. Oh, here we go, right? Somebody bought it there, right? Oh, it looks like. Here, we'll finish with this. Looks like they broke it, so we got to go back one. Let's look at that right there. Okay, so this is really not specific to this asset, just kind of making the point here. Okay, right? Remember, every pivot is a target, right? That's how traders mark the market, if you will, right? It's always, where's the last pivot? So it's either we're measuring from it or it's the resistance that I'm looking at, because something happened here. Buyers overwhelmed sellers, right? We had an imbalance here to push it up to stop this. So every pivot is a target, right? It's where you'll find stops. It's where breakout traders will enter the market. So if we, to come to right here, right? Is this a place to be a buyer of the market? Oh shit, I don't like, I'm going to take that off, and it's just so I can, what I'm used to. There we go. Okay, now is that a place to be a buyer? Right now, who's likely buying there? Right, we're right. So already, just right at that point, you know, you're vulnerable to the double top. right? So see, do you see a breakout trader has to do that every single time. They have to assume that there's not going to be a double top or a double bottom. Or as an FX trader would look at this. Oh, is this just an M pattern? Right? It's just literally the worst place to enter the market long. It's not a bad place to enter the market short. Now, why do I say that? Because if you're shorting here, where's your stop? Right? I mean, you could use the other side of the golden zone. So the risk reward is so much better. If you're longing here, where's your stop? Right? You're going to have to use this or this. Right? So the risk reward is the ass backwards. Yet it's probably the most common trade that new traders make. Oh, look for the stock to break out. Look for the asset to break out. It's probably the most common thing they're taught, which I can't change that, but we want to take advantage of that, right? Not to be, we don't know who's on the other side of that. I mean, sorry, you're going to have to study more, right? So if you're buying there, okay, sorry, you're going to learn the hard way. I did. I was a breakout trader when I first started. Now I go out of my way to make sure that members are not doing that. I mean, I really dwell on it because that's why I make a point of showing you every time. See, here, same thing. Same thing here. Same thing here. Same thing here. Here, right? So this is not a breakout, right? So here, there's stops up there. They want to get them, right? I talk about this all the time. I can't get them. Oh shit! I got to cover. Right? Somebody here. Right, thought, oh, it's going to keep going. Right, it's just, even though it's not tick perfect, they get faced. Right, so here, oh, retrace, oh, it's going to go. Right, exact same thing. That's how you know, and that's the other thing that makes a breakout or a double top or a double bottom. If you really start to tune your eye to this and start noticing it, you will never buy into a double again. You just won't ever do it because look how consistently. So let's call this here's the level here. So somebody who doesn't know better is buying here and assuming, oh shit, we're off we go. Right? It's the size of the move that comes off of the double top at the bottom. Right? If you start really looking for that, you'll never do it again. Right, look at that move that comes off of that one. Okay, how about this one is not even done, but look what came off of this one. Whew. You could say the same thing here, right? We cluster here. Would this be a good place to be buying the market right here? Right here with all of this right to the left of you? Does that make sense? Would that be a good place to be a buyer right here? And look what happens to them. Right? They go, well, okay, well, fuck here. Let's just see what happens. Right, now you don't have a double here, but what do you have here? Double bottom. Well, let's take a run. Let's take a flyer and see. Maybe it'll break. Oh, well, it'll probably break here. Let's just see. Maybe we'll get it here. This is how retail gets taken advantage of millions of times a day, every day, all day long. Now, who's on the other side of that trade? Right? Maybe institutions, maybe banks. It's somebody who knows better. Again, there are times where it's going to fly, right? Of course, right? There have to be examples of people showing that working, or else nobody would ever do it. So you don't need to send me, 20 examples of breakouts. It's just statistically, this is not a good place to enter the market, right? And we're sort of back to why would retail want to buy here? Oh, it's going up, right? It's safe to buy here. Well, shit, I can't sell it here. It's going down. But it would be safe to sell here. It's going down. All right, I think that's everything we got. Oh, I just got a bunch of stuff from Baby Well. Okay, are we good there, man? We get everybody covered?
Yeah, let me make sure we don't have any other donations, but I think we're good.
Okay, good. Wow, I love it.
1:30.
Look at that, man. We're starting. We began and ended right on time. I love it when that happens. Okay, guys. All right. Appreciate you guys hanging out. I hope if nothing else. Oh yeah, I forgot to. Oh shit. That's why Monte Crypto has to be on here. I forget everything. This is going. What did we say till midnight? Midnight.
I've got it the 5th, which is Europe time, so tomorrow probably midday.
Okay, right. So if any of you guys are interested in the educational system, which is our belt system, which is teaching, well, sure, there's a lot of Elliott in it, but it's not. I always try to remind people it's not an Elliott Wave course. Right, Elliott Wave is part of it, but I hope you guys see our methodology combines with the algorithm is doing the market geometry, and only if it's helpful. The Elliott helps, then we'll add that in. But you got to know the Elliott to determine whether it's helpful or not, right? You got to get good enough to know whether or not it's not helping, right? Rather than when you're first learning it, you apply it to everything all the time, on every chart, every swing. Right? There are places where, of course, right? It's crowd dynamics. It's always going to be there at some degree, right? You're going to be able to come back to a chart and figure out the Elliott. That's the brilliance of it, right? There's almost nothing that can't be solved eventually. But you have to learn it well enough to know it's not helping here, right? Because you don't need it to trade, right? You don't need it. But it can be helpful, right? I mean, Monte Crypto does most of his success comes with a very light dusting of Elliott Wave, right? It's very focused on geometry and his own approach.
Yeah, it's a much higher time frame, Elliott, to basically tell me which way I should be looking. Right.
But it's not what he doesn't do is micro-analyze every swing, right? And every now and then I get myself caught into it because I'm kind of curious to see if I can solve the puzzle. Like Apple, right? That's a bitch, right? I could spend 2 hours on that, which I don't want to do on a live stream. So, but as is my nature, that will annoy me until I can get it, right? So I'll be back there digging at that. That just comes from. That could be my own head trash, right? I'm just always curious to see if I can do it. But so the point being, this is going for another day and a half through midnight, but we're pretty flexible here. But the one thing I should note here, because a lot of people mistake that's not just so if you were doing the month to month, right? Just come in and sample it. All right, let's see what this content's like. We don't just do 15% off the first month and then put you to full price on the second. That becomes your price, right? As long as you're an active member. Same thing with a 12-month, right? If you got to the end of the year and you wanted to go another year, you get the same price, right? So we hold that discount for you, which many do not do. But we figure that's the fairest way to approach it. So that said,
yeah, as long as you continue to support us, we might as well
exactly
give you the price you got
right.
in.
Now, if you left for 6 months, you can't come back and say, hey man, I was in before at a discount, right? Can I get, that's kind of case by case, but we try and be, accommodating. We want you to study. We want you to learn. We want you to have success, right? Otherwise, what the hell are we doing here? Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap it there. Thanks, Monte Crypto, as always, for keeping me on track. He'll be on Wednesday. I guess I'm back tomorrow. We'll do another one tomorrow and see if we got enough movement in the markets. You guys will be posting. But that was absolutely perfect today. I appreciate you guys hanging out, and to anyone who watches after the fact, hope you pick up a couple of nuggets here. At the very least, let's not buy double bottoms and sell double tops, or double tops and sell double bottoms. Okay, guys, with that,